It's so hard to get this right. Is that too high? Maybe it's too high. Oh my god, why is this so difficult? For fuck's sake. Like, am I crooked? Okay. Now my background looks crooked. This is tripping me out. Not off to a great start. Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. It has been a very long time between videos. I know I said that last time, but this time it really has been a long time. I think before we get started, I'm gonna need a coffee. So I'm gonna go make a coffee, drink said coffee, and then come back for a chat. Let's start at the start, shall we? So back around October, November, I lost quite a bit of weight. I got down to five and a bit kilos of weight loss, which was amazing. And I felt like I'd really found my groove, and I'd found foods that were kind of working for me and exercise that was working for me. And I felt like I was really kicking goals, and I was so excited. But I went back to Adelaide for Christmas and New Year. And even before that, actually, I can't just blame Adelaide. Even before that, when you're not on holidays yet, but you can feel it coming. So nothing really matters. And you're just having a good time, you're chilling, you're eating, you're drinking. I did let things go. I really did lapse into some old behaviors of binging around Christmas and New Year. And I recognized some of the feelings that came back around that as well. It wasn't just indulging for fun, it was more than that. So that was kind of disappointing, and I put a lot of the 5 kilos back on. Not all of it, but a lot of it. So I came back to Brisbane, straight back into the work year, kind of feeling like, great, here we are, starting from square one, which is obviously not the case, but it felt like it. I'm also taking it as a sign that I have to work on my mental health, because I talk the talk and I don't walk the walk. And perhaps you guys can relate, where you say you're going to work on your mental health and your mindfulness and just being a happier, more content, more grateful human being. So you download the apps, you go to Officeworks and you buy your stationery and your fancy pens, and you tell yourself you're going to journal, you're going to meditate, you're going to do mindfulness every day, and then it just doesn't seem as important as the other stuff going on in the day. So the day just goes by and you realize you haven't done a single thing, but you've done all the important things, so that's all that matters. And then you'll start the next day for sure, and it repeats itself, and a month has been by, you've not meditated once, you've not even unwrapped your journal, and you're just not prioritizing it. And then something goes wrong. It doesn't have to be catastrophic, but some mild inconvenience, and you can't cope. I can't cope. So what happened over Christmas and New Year was, by the way, nothing happened, nothing bad happened. It was a wonderful time, but I had some old feelings come up around food and exercise, and it just, yeah, I didn't cope very well with the festivities and the food and the weight and the body image and that whole side of the holidays that kind of punched me in the face. So it has made me realize that I can't keep talking about taking these steps to improve my mental health and my resilience, and then doing nothing about it, and then being absolutely gobsmacked when something goes wrong. I have to prioritize that, and it is just as important as exercise. It is just as important as eating well. It's as important as anything else. Potentially more important depending on where you're at. So if you know that you have to work on that, take this as your sign to stop putting it off, unwrap your journal, and start writing, start meditating, use the app that you downloaded, get it done, because it is so important. And it's hard to keep sight of how important it is when things are going really well and you're managing, but it's when something goes wrong, or not even something bad, but something changes in your routine, or something changes in your mindset, or something else changes in your life, and everything falls down, because the very unsturdy pillars that you've built your new relationship with food on were not actually that strong. you've got to build from the ground up. I have been journaling, which has been a very short-lived habit. It's probably only been about 2 weeks, but I'm doing it. I'm getting better. I've skipped a few nights here and there, but I am prioritizing it. I will start meditating next week. And you guys can keep me accountable to that. And I bought a notebook for morning pages, which is meant to be an exercise where you wake up and it's the first thing you do. You get out of bed, you sit down and you write 3 A4 size pieces of paper about whatever's on your mind. It doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to be neat handwriting. The sentence structure doesn't have to be great. You just write for 3 pages and then you close it and you get on with your day. And it's meant to be very good for figuring out how you're feeling and why you're feeling, and just really setting your mindset for the day, apparently. So I'm gonna give that a whirl. Of course, I'll share that with you lot as well, see how we go. So let's get on with the point of the video, which is why my weight loss has been so slow. And I've already covered the first point, which is not having the mindset and the resilience to manage things when they don't go exactly perfectly, which is a lot of the time. That's life. I succeed to a certain point and then something happens and I just get like thrown straight back to square one. That is one huge reason why this has been so slow. So I think coming back to Brisbane after such a big break and having put on a lot of weight that I had so proudly lost, I think that was kind of the final straw for me, where I realized that I can't just keep talking about working on my mental health. I actually have to do it. Who knew? So that is now a priority. The second reason why my weight loss has been so slow is because I was so focused on either losing weight relatively quickly or trying to improve my relationship with food overall. And I would either lose weight because I was eating weirdly but losing weight, so I didn't care, but of course it didn't stay off because I hadn't improved my relationship with food. So then I started focusing on that and I got really good at it, and I figured out a way that I could eat relatively freely, relaxed, enjoy things that I like, but still be really mindful about what I'm eating. And that went really well until I realized I wasn't actually losing any weight. And I was so frustrated with myself and I didn't know what was going on. And then that would trigger me to go into, well, this doesn't work. I'm gonna go back into fast weight loss no matter what mode. And of course that didn't work. So I went back to sustainable weight loss and back and forward, back and forward, back and forward. And it hit me relatively recently. I think I mentioned it in one of my videos. I was gonna say a few weeks ago, but let's be real, it was probably a few months ago, where I have found a way to eat well that suits me and it does not lead to weight gain. However, I'm trying to lose weight. So the approach I had found was amazing for maintenance, amazing for staying exactly the same. I actually had to go a bit further if I wanted to lose weight. And it seems so obvious now, like so obvious. But I don't know why. I guess I was caught up in my own thoughts and partly desperate, I suppose. So I wasn't stopping and thinking clearly about what was going on. I was just yo-yoing from different approaches because I was like, I have to get this done. So when I realized, I had this massive aha moment. Like, yeah, that is a great way for you to eat. When you are at a healthy weight that you're happy with, go back to it. Eat like that. You can indulge that many times a week if you like, and you will stay exactly the same weight, which is amazing. But while you're losing weight, you can't indulge in a few things a few days a week. I need to really be mindful that I am still actively trying to lose weight. Saying it out loud, it sounds so obvious. I don't know why I missed that. I think it might be because following intuitive eating on social media and people that promote intuitive eating, in my experience anyway, a lot of them are already at a weight that they're quite comfortable with. They're not trying to lose 30 or 40 kilos. So for them, eating intuitively is great because they're just looking for a way to improve their relationship with food and not gain weight, but they're not actively trying to lose weight. So perhaps they got caught up in that, I don't know. Anyway, so let's move on from that to the third reason why my weight loss has been so slow. The last reason is because it took me a really long time to figure out a way of nourishing my body and moving my body that actually worked for me. After years and years and years and years of dieting and hearing about fad diets and quick ways to lose weight and the best types of exercises you can do to lose weight, it's really hard to separate that and relearn it all in a more healthy, sustainable approach, because your subconscious is always saying to you, you know, carbs are bad. If you want to lose weight, you shouldn't be eating carbs. Or why are you walking 5 times a week? That's not going to do anything. You should be lifting weights. You should be doing this. You should be doing that. Blah, 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 blah. And your mind just goes crazy. But again, something that seems really obvious now, but took me a long time to learn, is that you have to do what's right for you. I have found a way of eating that makes me feel really good, and it's helped me lose weight, but it also helps my gut, it helps my mental health, it helps my energy, it helps my sleep, it helps everything. And it just feels so sustainable now. It doesn't feel like I'm desperately trying to lose weight, because it's the kind of food that I would eat anyway. If you've eaten foods or eat foods quite regularly that don't sit well with you, you know how uncomfortable that can make you. And eating something, eating a meal and finishing and just walking away and feeling fine, and an hour later still feeling fine, is such a great feeling. It's like a whole new incentive to eat that way. If you eat this, you won't feel sick and bloated an hour later. Suddenly I'm extra keen. So I suppose what I'm ranting and raving about and trying to say is that when you find a way to eat that works well for you, it doesn't feel like dieting. It doesn't feel like you're just crunching on broccoli every day in a desperate bid to lose weight. You're eating in a way where your body's like, okay, this is good. This makes us feel good. We're not feeling anxious as shit. We're not craving sugar. We're sleeping well. We have energy. And suddenly, it's a lot easier to eat that way. I've been eating a lot of veggies, like a lot of veggies, quite a bit of fruit, yogurt, just plain natural Greek yogurt, and I add a little bit of honey, some walnuts and banana. It's one of my go-to snacks. I've been eating a lot of lean protein, predominantly chicken, bit of red meat here and there, and lots of fish as well. Cut back a lot on alcohol, and that's been surprisingly easy. And I think it's because, I mean, I drank almost every day for a week and a half over the Christmas and New Year period. And not heaps, like some days it was only 1 or 2 drinks, but by the end of it, I didn't even want to look at a bottle of wine for a while. By a while, I mean like a day, but still, the cravings and the desire to have it is just, it's just on chill for the moment. What else have I been doing? Oh, walking. So my goal is to walk 5 times a week, but the week just gone and the week before that, I only managed to do 3, but that is still pretty good considering for the month before that I did nothing. So I'm slowly building up again, and I'm really loving it. It helps to have a great playlist. I know that sounds so negligible, but it really does. So I found actually that I seem to be moving from a morning exerciser to an afternoon exerciser, at least while I'm walking, because the feeling of packing up for the day, especially while I'm working from home at the moment, closing my laptop, putting my stuff on and just walking off the day and feeling free and relaxed is just the best feeling. Moving my body in a way that works for me, getting excited about it, aiming for 5 times a week. Hopefully by the time I see you guys next week, I have hit 5 walks at an hour each, and just continue eating the way I'm eating because it seems to be really working for me. I think that's all for today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here again. I really, really appreciate it. If you want to, subscribe to the channel. And feel free to like the video as well. Hell, dislike it if you want. I hope to do great things this week, and I hope that you do as well. And I hope that we're all doing a little bit better than we were the week before. Bit by bit, slowly improving, and we'll see where that takes us. And I will see you all next week.